In today's video, we're going to talk about one of the important career choice, whether to be a specialist or a generalist. In old days, it was very common for people to be dabbling in multiple areas. Some of the people were so talented that they used to work in 4-5 different areas simultaneously. Take the case of Leonardo da Vinci. He was known for the Mona Lisa painting, but he was also a engineer, a scientist, and a sculptor at the same time. Or take the case of Isaac Newton. He was definitely a great physicist, but he was also a mathematician, a astronomer, an alchemist, and also an author. But over the period of times, with the passage of times, things changed and the concept of specialization took root. If you remember correctly, Adam Smith was the first person in his seminal work, The Wealth of Nations, he advocated for division of labor and specialization. He thought that with specialization, the overall society will benefit much more than everybody doing all different works at the same time. Nowadays, it is much more common to see super specialization instead of specialization. So, take any field, be it medicine or engineering or finance, and in all these fields, it's very common to see experts or super specializations, and it has its advantage for sure. So people become much more expert, or they show their mastery in the things that are expected of them in that field, but it has also its adverse repercussions. So if you remember, Nicholas Butler famously told once that an expert is a person who knows more and more about less and less. Nowadays, we are living in a knowledge era. There is explosive growth of knowledge in this era. The volume and the veracity and the velocity of the data that is being churned out every day is humongous. So, add to that the interdependence that is increasing between these various fields. It is very difficult to be able to analyze and take decisions if you are not a generalist in multiple areas. So in such a scenario, it is important for a person to become a generalist. So the proverb that jack of all and master of none was having negative connotations, but nowadays if you have to turn it upside down, it's a good thing to be a jack of all and if possible master of one. Now, if we take the example of the latest evolving field, data science. So, in data science, a data scientist is a person who knows about statistics, mathematics, operation research, and he also has to be a programmer, right? So, the basic requirement of being a data scientist has to be a competence in multiple fields. So, there is this saying that a data scientist is a person who knows more about statistics than a programmer, and also he knows more about programming than a statistician. So he has to juggle multiple hats, and it's not only data scientist. There are multiple new career options that are evolving, and in many of these, the requirement is that you dabble in and you have exposure to multiple areas. Okay. So in such a scenario, to give a good career advice will be 3 thumb rules. The first, don't channelize your efforts to learn the nuances and the nitty-gritties of rarely used advanced syntax of a particular programming language. Rather, focus on learning things which can be transferred across languages. For example, design pattern, or how to do modularity, or how to do error handling. These are the things. Second important thing is that you should actively hunt for opportunity to work in small companies and startups, because the environment that they provide there is much more growth oriented. You will be jumping across one team to the other in 5 to 6 months time across products. So your learning will be heterogeneous, diverse, and enriching. Compared to that, if you start your career in tech giants, most probably you will be working for the next 3-4 years in a particular product or in a particular feature. So your knowledge will be much more compartmentalized. The learning will be less. Finally, the third important advice is Don't pigeonhole yourself. Try to learn and be a sponge. Absorb as much knowledge as possible from different sources. You don't know how that knowledge is going to help you in the future. So adopt a growth mindset. Be open to learn. Have a framework where you are ready to learn every day. So in this fast-paced world of today, what is important is anybody is ready to learn new things. So age should not be a criteria. There should not be a full stop to learning. If you are ready to adopt this particular attitude, then you will go miles in your career in this particular new milieu that is happening. With this, I will say bon voyage, have this eternal quest for knowledge, and progress happily in your career. All the best.